Scott, thank you for joining us. 4 games to go for the rest of the season, and it's a very exciting one coming up next as we travel to the champions, Birmingham City. Can I get your thoughts ahead of that one?
Yeah, game we're looking forward to. Obviously, big stadium, big crowd, good side, obviously, and we're gonna try and go there and win the game. We're at the point now where we've got to throw everything at it. I think we've been at that point for a while actually, and I think that the players have thrown everything at it, and unfortunately, we've not probably got the results that maybe we deserved. And yeah, we're going to go for it. We're going to go for it and turn up and try and play our way. Obviously playing against a very good side. But, football's got that about it where anything can happen. So we're just going to go there and give it our best shot.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot on the line for us. Is this the sort of game, as you say, with a big crowd, it would be a sellout, I imagine, first game since they have been crowned champions? Is this the sort of game that our players should relish playing in?
I think so, yeah. I can't wait to get there. And I think the players should feel that as well. And I think listening to the group and speaking to the group and debriefing the last game and kind of going through the training sessions this week, I think that there seems to be an excitement about this game from my players. So, I want us to really go there and do well. I want us to do well against a good side, and hopefully we'll have enough to go and upset and create some goal scoring opportunities and put the ball in the back of the net and hopefully stop them from doing so. So, yeah, listen, we are where we are. We know what we've got to do. We just got to go and do it.
Yeah, as a club, we've notoriously performed quite well in these sort of big occasions, specifically under you, especially, of course, last season. Is there anything that you put that down to? Is it just the pure excitement a player who's playing for, a club of our size gets from, playing in such a big stadium in front of such a big crowd?
I don't think it matters, really. I think that, I think that footballers should relish playing football every Saturday, no matter where we're playing, whether it's at home or away or in front of 10 people, it doesn't matter. They should relish kind of performing and preparing to perform, which I've seen this week. I just want to see a really good performance on Friday and hope that we can, do ourselves proud against a really good side.
Yeah, what's the mood been like at the training ground this week? Obviously, it was a frustrating defeat at the weekend to Leyton Orient. The players yourself would have had time to sort of watch that back. So what was the feeling and discussions like on Monday and throughout the week?
I think from my point of view, and I said it after the game, that I thought we were very good. What I meant by that was I thought we were very good for one half. But unfortunately, football's played in two halves, and we didn't perform as well in the second half. And I felt that we got ourselves in a really good position, obviously 1-0 up and playing well. And then one ball down the middle of the pitch we can't defend. We then find ourselves 1-1, and then 10 seconds from the kickoff we can't, play an action that's very, very simple. We turn the ball over and then we find ourselves 2-1 down within the space of 2 minutes of being 1-0 up. And because it happened so quickly, we didn't seem to recover from that. And I didn't feel as if I think the players felt beat at that moment, which is no good to me. As me as the manager now, I want my group to always never give up until the final whistle. And we looked like I don't think we threw the towel in, but I don't think we had enough about us to go and try and get back in the game, which was disappointing given the position that we find ourselves in. I think the players have been amazing since I've come in. I think they've worked extremely hard. I think they've done really well in all the games. I felt that there was elements of fatigue in the Stevenage game, and I felt that the Leyton Orient game, we put ourselves in a really good position, but let ourselves down, shot ourselves in the foot a little bit. But lots to be positive about, certainly in the first half. You look at how we played in that first half, I thought we were really good, some really good actions. Against a team who are trying to get in the playoffs. So we're not a million miles away, but we are a million miles away, and we need to get, as many points as we can get now in these next 4 games.
Is it too early to say still about the injuries that we sort of picked up last week? You know, specifically Armando was obviously forced off.
We've got a lot of injuries at the moment. You know, we're looking at the board today, and I want to do an 11v11. I've not even got enough players to do 11v11 in training today, so we've had to draft some in from the foundation to make up the numbers. So yeah, we're really kind of threadbare at the moment in terms of numbers, but it is what it is. That's why we build a squad. We'll have enough to fill the bench on Friday. So yeah, it's just kind of the situation we find ourselves in. But I'm not going to sit here and moan about that. We have to pick a team that are capable of getting something at Birmingham City on Friday.
Yeah, we spoke obviously about the game being a big occasion for the players. It's obviously going to be a big occasion for the fans as well. I think it will be maybe the 8th ex-Premier League team we've played so far in League One this season. You know, over 500 have already bought tickets already, so it will be a great occasion, not just for the players and the staff, but for the club as well.
Yeah, I think so, and I think the fans should kind of come to these games and, you know, really enjoy it and get behind the lads like they do, and have a good day out, and hopefully we'll be celebrating at the end. It's going to be a tough game, we know that, but hopefully we can get something from it, and hopefully we're celebrating at the end with the fans.
Perfect.
Brilliant. Obviously, Birmingham were favourites from the start. Sorry, excuse me. From the start of the season, based on budget and the players they brought in and that. I mean, obviously you think they're probably worthy winners, but what has impressed you most about them from what you've watched and seen from them?
Just listen, every player's a good player. You know, you look at their squad, you look at the lads who come off the bench, some proper players in their team, and I really like the way they play. They have the ball. You know, they're very good at building possession. They play through the thirds really well, but also they can go direct at times and really hurt you that way as well. Defensively really strong. So pretty much every aspect of football they've impressed me with. You know, it's nice to see an English manager do really well at a big club like that. I think that's good for us as coaches, as English coaches.
Yeah.
He's a young manager that's first job, so you know, congratulations to him. I think he's done a fantastic job. And yeah, we're looking forward to the game because I think it's, and I said this against Leyton Orient before the game, that we like to play against good sides because it can only be good for us moving forward. You know, I think it's good experience for my team, my players, to play against a good side like that, and it will only help us moving forward.
Yeah, and does going to a club like Birmingham with the stadium, with their budget and that, sort of epitomise the challenge Crawley has had this year? Because although people might be, oh God, we're down near the relegation zone, he's in the relegation zone, it has been a really tough season. I mean, Sam just mentioned you played 8 former Premier League sides this season.
But that's why you got promoted. That's why we're in this division. You want to play these teams. You want to play at these stadiums. You don't. That's why it's so. Like, we're so desperate to stay in the division because of these reasons. You know, every manager, every coach, every player, everybody involved in football wants to play at the highest level they want to play at for these reasons. You know, and we desperately want to stay in this division for them reasons, because we want to play against the likes of Birmingham City, and you know, you look at kind of teams who are coming down or potentially could come down from the Championship next season. It's like incredible, and we want to play against these teams. And little old Crawley, yeah, we are. But if we go really organised and have a real good game plan, there's no reason why we can't perform against these teams. And I think we've shown that in past games, definitely. You know, my last game actually before I left to go to Milton Keynes was against Wrexham.
Yeah.
And big old Wrexham, massive club, massive fan base, massive budget, everything. We were outstanding in that game. You know, really, really played well, and I'm really proud of how we played in that last game. And even sort of like when you're playing the competitions as well, like the Carabao Cup, we played Brighton away at the Amex, and you know, we got beat, but we done ourselves proud in that game as well. I think that's the reason why you want to play and stay in this division, because there's no reason why a team like little old Crawley can't compete against these teams. Given the fact that if you have a good group and you coach them well, why can't we? You know, and I think that we find ourselves at the moment probably not in that great position. we're in a precarious position where the club, the whole feel around the place, the players, even though there's been an uplift since I've come in, which there has, and there's been an uplift in performance and certainly on a couple of occasions in terms of results, but we still do find ourselves in a really sticky situation. I think if we was to survive, I think it would be a different feeling next season in terms of us competing against these teams, because I would build a narrative where it is little old Crawley, but actually we're not bad.
Yeah.
And at the moment we're not bad, but we're not great either, if that makes sense. So we need to, and this is why these next 4 games we've got to try and forget about what we've been. We've got to try and look at what we're going to be.
Yeah.
Whether that's in this division or the one below.
I think you've had 7 goalkeepers so far this season been used. Not yourself personally, obviously, but the club as a whole. It's obviously not an ideal situation. Will that be obviously a priority when it comes to thinking about next year and the summer?
Well, I think sort of like January, listen, I wasn't here.
Yeah.
But I know we signed the goalkeeper from Brentford.
Yeah.
Who then got quite a bad injury early January. So the window had shut.
Yeah.
And then we kind of left with, obviously, Jojo. Sandy's kind of just about coming back and not 100% fit yet. And obviously Jasper's a young goalkeeper who's not had any experience at all. So, yeah, the goalkeeping department, through probably nobody's fault, really has been in a bad situation, especially when Jojo goes away on international. So, yeah, it's just been one of them situations that I think from the injury from the goalkeeper we had from Brentford has probably not helped. No. We thought that maybe that could be the one that could play when Jojo wasn't available. Obviously, he got bad injuries, so now we find ourselves in a position where if Jojo's hurt, which he is at the moment, we have to go and get another emergency loan to fill the space, which obviously is not ideal because you're chopping and changing a lot. But listen, it is what it is. We're not going to moan about it. We just got to try and find the best solution around it.
Brilliant. Thanks, Scott. Good luck Saturday.
Thank you.
Friday.